Hey, everybody, happy Saturday. We are here with our 25th edition of What's Up Wrestling. I'm here with LJ Ruiz. And I just wanted to say to everybody, if you have not checked out our show, we're the fun show. I think we're fun and real.
Yeah,
We bring the real and the fun.
yeah.
That's what I think. Not to,
We don't have a script that people are giving us
we
to
don't have
talk
a
about.
script. And by the way, I'm not digging on any of the wonderful shows that are out there, the podcasts that we all watch, and the great people that do them. I'm just saying, if you
Yeah,
haven't checked out our 25 episodes, go below to the
yeah.
Michael Fairman channel under What's Up Wrestling and check them out because I kind of watched some of them back and I'm like, all right, like, as Clubhouse,
If you
yeah,
want to be, if you want to laugh at
entertaining.
episode and entertain, go watch our top 10 of the year episode because that was probably our funniest one that we did. So that
It was
one was really
really
good.
funny. But that's why I think it's good because I was like, okay, so what sets us apart? And we have lots of things planned coming up when this one is done traveling the country, which we'll get into in a minute. But
Lucky I'm not in Australia.
whatever part of the continent he ends up in. But I was just gonna say, like, I hope you guys go down and check out go down into the channel and check out the other episodes because some of them are really fun.
Mhm.
And and I think we offer a real perspective on it. That's all.
Yeah.
Not that anybody else.
I think it's just a true fan perspective more than like a reporter or someone who knows more than we do. Because at the end of the day, we don't
I don't
have
know.
any.
We know pretty much.
I was gonna say no. I mean, at the end of the day, we don't have any inside information. So everything that we report is straight up like real as a fan. So like we don't know anything before it happens. So some people do. So that's why ours
Some
are
people
true.
do, and
Yeah,
and on that note, before you move on, isn't it funny though when you're one of the people that always you'll text me, so and so said this
yeah,
was happening, and it's completely wrong.
yeah.
That's the thing. All right, everybody. Well, thank you for joining us, and I just want to say, so LJ, you have been traveling, very busy. Uh, you went to Las Vegas. You were there
Yes.
for the NFL Super Bowl week, media week, and then you were also there, apparently in the front row at the WrestleMania 40 kickoff press conference. So before we get into last night on SmackDown, which we've got to talk about with The Rock joining the Bloodline officially, what was it like being in the front? Like what happened? Because when I watched it, I thought
Yeah.
it felt a little staged, but how was it for you being in the front row?
Um, it was. I'll be honest. That was one of the craziest events I've ever been to. Just because, first of all, the fans were hot. Like the fans were loud, and my uncle was texting me while I was there. He was like, "Oh, are they pumping this crowd noise in?" And I was like, "No, they're not at all." Like when I tell you, they might have had to. I haven't fully watched it back yet, like on TV, but the crowd was actually pretty. Even though they were chanting
Looked
Cody like
empty.
there was. So the thing was that they had. I mean, at the end of the day, it's a press conference, so they still filled in like I don't know, like a certain thousands of people sat there and whatever, but they got a lot less than they thought they were gonna get. They thought they were gonna be able to get like the whole arena to like pack in, but they ended up like you can't tell really in the videos, but let's say the basketball court is like this. They basically split it in half and then only did one side of it. So that's like what they did. So it was a good amount of people. It was a little. It felt like a little close, like people. It was like a fan thing that if you really cared, you went. It was cool. I mean, they they were selling merch there. So, at the end of the day, they're making money and all that stuff. But yeah, so they escort us in literally from the ground into the second
Wait, wait, wait,
row.
wait, wait, wait. So everybody understands when you say escort us in, you're talking about the press.
Yeah, the press escorts us in. We had our own line. They escort us all in, whatever. We all wait and they take us into the second row, whatever. The crazier part was that I don't know if you saw, so WWE sold like packages that you could pay for this thing, and we were sitting next to them. So in my head, I'm like, wow, these people paid like $1,200. I'm sitting here anyway, but it's like it's just I can't believe people pay that much money for a press conference. You know what I mean? There's some diehard fans. Like it really is like they love this thing. Like there was fans next to me that looked like they've been like standing out there for hours because they just wanted to be front row. You know what I mean? So it was pretty cool. The crowd was hot. Like the crowd was loud. There was a lot of Rocky fans. Like when I tell you a lot, like I don't know if they were putting in more Cody chants than they thought at that event, even though Rocky was getting booed. But like before the event, they were chanting, "We want Cody," and then "No, we don't," and it was loud. It was split half and half. And I think that's just because of the Vegas crowd and you
But
know what I mean?
I had heard even prior to that at I don't know if it was Raw or Raw maybe they were handing out Cody sign. Were they handing out signs that were like down with Rock or yay Cody? I mean,
Yeah, I so
they actually
they've
peppered the
been
audience with signs.
yeah, so they were I read it online and that they were giving out like like they Bailey used to have those like little paper signs and the hugger signs. They were doing that for We Want Cody, which they were going fully, you know, in on that on him being the one to be like, the Daniel Bryan push. I'm trying to find this screenshot. I don't know if I told you, but so I was so close that so the way it worked was like the stage was here, right? Well, I'm facing the stage, I'm second row. And then behind us was where and now where the announcers Punk and McAfee, they were behind us doing like
Right,
a stand-up podium.
right.
So all of a sudden the crowd starts screaming. And this is before the event started. And they're all standing there getting ready, putting their headsets on, the microphones, like, practicing, whatever. So me and my friend walk over and we're literally standing on the barricade of the of the interview, like where they're standing. So like you talked about, I was in the NFL all week. So I actually got to talk to McAfee at the NFL thing. And I was like, hey, I'm gonna see you later. And he was like, oh, you're gonna be at the WWE thing? I was like, yeah, I'm gonna be there reporting it. He's like, oh, okay, I better see you. So then I walk over and McAfee's standing right in line with me. And I'm like, I just say, hey, McAfee, and he looks up, he goes, oh, you told me you were gonna be here. So I
Oh,
was like, oh, you
cool.
remember? That's pretty cool. Like it was really cool. Like that's
Oh, cool.
whatever. And he was like, oh, I'm glad you didn't lie to me. He was like joking
I'm
around,
glad you
whatever.
didn't lie to me.
And then I have a picture of so then Punk, because obviously you know me, I was freaking out. I'm literally inches away from CM Punk. Like I could reach out and grab him, but I didn't. Uh
God, or you'd be killed and thrown out.
um we he starts recording like around, like all the fans freaking out, and then he ended up recording me and put it on his story.
What?
Yeah, and
Okay, you never said anything about this.
I'll show you. Look, so it's gonna be hard to
We're not gonna be able to see it. We'll have to
let me
put
see. Let me see if I can get it like on the off the
uh
hold on, wait. Let me
uh
just take this off real quick. All right, so look. So that's CM Punk's story. Look, you see the Punk
CM
and look,
Punk. Yep.
look, that's me right there.
Oh my God. Are you right in the front?
Yeah, that's me. That's me right there. Look, so like this is the full video. So this is the full video. I screen recorded it. Look, watch. He goes around
This is Punk's video,
Punk's story on his Instagram.
an Instagram story.
Look, that's me in the middle with the look. I was free. I was at some recording. I was like, oh my God, I'm
I
gonna
mean,
get
okay, now you can say you've lived. You're in CM Punk's Instagram story.
yeah, yeah.
So before I want to move on to last night on SmackDown, but I want to ask you when the moment happened when you're there live, you're in the front row, you're watching on the stage or the way they have this set up, Rock coming out in the confrontation with Cody, and Seth is on there. How did it play to you in the audience? Because while I understand the setup and I thought, oh, cool, some of it seemed a little bit too staged. Like I kind of felt a little fake to me. And I don't know what it was like for you there. Like
Yeah,
we knew it was fake, but it was kind of like it just
yeah.
felt like I didn't understand the Seth thing, like trying to get what was your takeaway being there? Did it look, oh my God? Or were you like, well, this
So
looks
I live it definitely feels different because you don't hear the announcers and all that stuff. It's just the atmosphere of being there live. It feels like a real like UFC like weigh in where they
right?
start pushing each other. That's what it felt like. It
Okay.
definitely felt real, but the only thing was that like we were there and just I was more confused. Like even after because we were just waiting. Obviously, we'll talk about it, but like we were expecting to get heel Rock. Like, that's just what I was expecting because I was not. But at the end of the day, I was just so not surprised. I was surprised that he was okay with like going full fledged heel, especially like how big he is and everything, and like because for like the same reason like Cena will never go heel because of the Make a Wish stuff and all that. And I thought he was the same way. He's the number one movie star. I mean, he's big. He's doing all these interviews, but when once everyone was like kind of like he was still getting like cheers kind of, but like also boos when he first came out. Um, and then once he said the Cody Crybaby thing, then the whole crowd started booing him. And then I was like, all right, so we're getting heel Rock right now. Like that's what we're getting. But at the end of the day, it still kind of went along with it. He kept going, and it still didn't feel like full heel. It kind of just felt like you guys need to see why this match is important and why we need to have it. So and then, but nothing really felt like that until he stepped up to Cody and then slapped him in the face. It was I wasn't expecting him to do that. Like and I just thought I very like because I saw a lot on Twitter and I'm sure you probably agree, especially being there live because we could see it like when the camera's not panning anywhere. I could still see him. Like Cody Seth was kind of standing there
Oh,
like on the side the whole time like an
couldn't stand
idiot.
it. I felt like Seth was made to be like the idiot. Like, yeah,
Yeah, like
I
yeah.
just didn't
No, I'm
love the
saying
way.
even the whole time it was just like it was Cody, Roman, and Rock, and then Seth was just standing there. Like he had nothing. He was no reason for him to be there until the end, and then
But
once
even
he.
that was weird.
But I personally did like him stepping up right away and pushing Rock and pushing Roman because I think that I like that they're together. I think that Cody and Seth being together is smart, and I think that definitely makes sense.
So I I want to talk about because we have not talked about any of this.
Yeah,
So last night on SmackDown, The Rock officially joins the Bloodline. That is really the official heel turn. He comes out, he's arrogant, he's trashing the audience.
the outfit on
I mean, he's trashing the trailer trash,
The
the
Versace,
Versace outfit, the trailer
yeah.
trash, the whole thing. And, he's with the Bloodline. And I am just curious. Now, we know that Brian Gerwitz is back. We know The Rock is there. And the way there was a realness, though, to the story in like, you guys went ballistic on him
Yeah,
when it could have been Roman versus The Rock.
yeah.
And I wonder if it was supposed to be Roman versus The Rock. And then it got so effed up by the fans just
So
Cody.
I
And
just
then last
I
night, like, okay,
I'll just start tell you because that's what I was gonna bring up. So, I watched this podcast that's like my favorite YouTuber like wrestling thing that's called a Stash Club Wrestling, and they do like an hour and a half long podcast like every whatever, and they actually were really delayed too because they were doing a lot of stuff. So I actually was driving yesterday and I just put it on and I listened to the whole thing while I was driving, like the whole thing. And they were doing the same thing as us. Like they hadn't had a podcast since before the press conference.
I can't believe I haven't talked
So
to you in weeks.
so they were talking about it and people all over social media, there's people that think they know like, oh, it was always Rock Roman. I mean, it was always Cody versus the Roman. They were just doing it because they wanted to get Cody as a bigger star. And then there's people who are like, no, it was Rock Roman, and they had to pivot last second. At the end of the day, I just don't know how. I think that let me just say, I think that this story is absolutely amazing. I love it. It feels really big, like a WrestleMania thing, with The Rock being included and being there every week now. Like he's very, which I'm very surprised he's okay. Like I guess he's just in. I've heard that just to talk about it. I've heard that he's 100% gonna be like this isn't just Mania. Like he's gonna be here till like next Mania, like consistently. Like maybe he'll miss a couple months, but that they're saying he wants to fight at SummerSlam. Like he wants to be like do like one final run. And I just don't know how you can watch all that went down and still say it was always Cody Roman when Cody literally came out on SmackDown and said, "I'm not fighting you at WrestleMania." It was Rock Roman. That's what it
I,
was. That's
I,
what we were.
I agree. And the
That's
thing,
what we were getting.
right.
And the fans spoke out. And at the end of the day, WWE isn't the same WWE that it used to be because 5 years ago they don't care and they're having Rock Roman no matter what, and then we just gotta swallow it. But they pivoted to this, and I think they've done an amazing job. And I think this is the smartest decision. It makes Cody feel even bigger. It makes Rock feel even bigger as a heel now. It makes Roman have a little change of character, in my opinion, because I think he's sitting back to Rock, which is a little funny. I think Roman is like taking a back seat to the Rock, which we haven't seen as the tribal chief character. He's been the one to call the shots and everything. And now I think that this is gonna be I think we're just touching the surface of what this story is gonna be. All
Right.
of this is leading to Rock Roman next year. That's all it's leading to without the title. That's in my opinion.
So
But
my so in my opinion, here's the deal. I was telling you a couple months ago that this bloodline story has gotten extraordinarily stale.
yeah.
You have,
Because
Jimmy
first of
and
all,
Jake.
Jay was the one who
Right,
was
right.
the bigger one.
Literally, how many more times can we watch Solo Sikoa interfering in a Roman Reigns match?
Like somebody.
Know
Yeah.
the ending. We talked
Yeah.
about this at Royal Rumble.
Yeah.
know what I mean? And the bloodline was getting stale. And I was like, how much longer can this go? What this really does, which is brilliant, is really makes the bloodline story so relevant, so exciting by bringing The Rock into the
Yeah,
bloodline with him. That being said, they had to have done a complete turn. I
yeah.
don't believe, because why would you have Cody win the Royal Rumble? Now, I know there's theories that Punk was supposed to win. Punk was
Well,
supposed to.
all I'll say is that it's just funny because it's not the first. This is the same thing that happened, not exactly the same, but and they said it yesterday. And I did think this before that I saw it, but it's just funny. CM Punk's injuries that he's had in WWE and AEW have tended to lead to things that like it's like a huge down like effect, butterfly
Yeah,
effect.
right. Yeah.
If you think about it, CM Punk doesn't get hurt here. I don't think Cody was winning the Rumble. Punk doesn't get hurt. He's in the Elimination Chamber. He's fighting Seth Rollins. They don't have to pivot to Rock Roman because Cody's fighting Roman no matter what, and they have a better enough challenger for Seth, and it's Punk Seth, and we don't get any of the Rock. I'm telling you that right now. Rock is not included in the story. If CM Punk just doesn't get hurt, none
If
of it. We
CM
don't
Punk wouldn't have, I think you're right. If CM Punk had not gotten hurt, Rock would not be inserted into this at
because they
all.
wouldn't have needed it.
Right.
They thought off the top of their head, all right, our biggest star right now in CM Punk is injured, and we don't think anybody's big enough to fight Seth Rollins in the main event of night one of
The
WrestleMania. So
other big part of this is Vince McMahon's complete I mean, that
yeah,
whole disgusting loss, the whole thing with Vince
yeah,
had to do something to push that out of the consciousness. How are you going? I mean, not that it's gone, but
yeah.
in order to compensate for that, you bring in the biggest star in the world and you have him take over the. And so now we're talking about this. We are not
So,
talking
yeah,
about Vince McMahon and what all that happened. We're
yeah,
not. We're talking about The Rock every week, every minute, and what's going to happen. So that's another reason it all happened. Then
yeah,
I do believe they sat back after the Cody Crybaby thing and they're like, we've got gold here.
yeah.
You got to turn heel.
Yeah, and I just at the end of the day, like if there's anybody they're not going to give a script to, it's The Rock. And if I personally think, listen, I was 1 years old when he was literally Hollywood Rock. Like I never actually got to watch it live. I've seen every video of it. I know who he was, and he was a good heel. But it seems to me that he is because Rock is very funny and he's unscripted and he's good. But I think he's even funnier when he can just go all out and curse out the fans and curse out everybody else.
I think this was scripted, what I just saw last night.
I read that Rock and Roman had no writers attached to it.
Really?
That they were the only project. They were the only segment with no writers attached.
And Brian is there? I don't know. But
That is that.
what I wanted to say is this is where this is leading. There is no way Roman is going to get jealous of Rock.
Well, I'm gonna. Well, so I'm gonna.
I'm saying now wait, either maybe it will implode at WrestleMania. You know what I'm saying? But I'm trying to figure out will Rock turn on Roman because he's fed up with his shit, or will Roman become the baby face and the Rock
So what I was gonna say, if I'm putting my fantasy booking hat on, and this is what I want, and what I've read, because we've talked about it, there has been rumors that the plan in the future, not future, I mean, he doesn't have that many years left, like huge, he's gonna be around, but they want Roman to be back to a bit. They want it to be the biggest, a huge baby face. They want Roman to eventually be again, and I think this is possible with. If I had to book this anyway, it would be Roman loses, shenanigans included, whatever, at WrestleMania
to Cody.
to Cody. Rock gets pissed and because he's like, I'm doing all this stuff for you and you're not the head of the team, all this
And you
stuff.
have it up.
Whatever. It isn't, it's not a huge thing. It just starts leading towards that. In my opinion, I think Solo should eventually go with The Rock and slowly they're starting to like follow him and not Roman. And Roman starts freaking out. And then I think he turns on The Rock and Rock is the heel and then Roman is the babyface in the fight. That would be the best way to do it. Because that's the easiest. If you're gonna have Roman be a babyface, you need it to be a huge heel, and that's The Rock. You just have The Rock be the biggest. You have The Rock beat up Roman like over and over again, and then eventually the fans will be like, "All right, Roman's like not a bad guy anymore," and then he starts to realize it. That would be the best way to do it.
And how do you feel? So here's the thing. You did make the point about Cena. We put Cena, Bianca Belair, The Rock, all these wonderful people that, the fans love and the children love. So if he
Yeah.
goes full heel for this long, destroys Roman, destroys everybody, we're just all enjoying it, right? We don't care that his WWE persona has been tarnished.
No, I think because at the end of the day, he can just come out one day and then it'll be
Be
fine.
like,
Like,
I'm fine. I love you all.
yeah, that's why I think it's cool. I mean, I'm very like I'm shocked that he was okay with doing it, but I guess if you think about it, that he really is what I like about this whole thing, it really is a shame that Triple H has a pacemaker because if you really think about it, this is what they would have led to. It would have been Triple H Rock at WrestleMania because that's kind of what they're leaning towards is
Well, they're
authority.
leaning toward the authority control figure. And what I was
Yeah.
thinking is The Rock was the new Mr. McMahon. The
And
Rock
I think
is the
that
new Mr. McMahon.
what I've seen, because as of right now, it doesn't seem like The Rock has a fight, like a match at WrestleMania, even though he was down to fight. Um, I would have loved to see like Triple H and Triple H get incorporated into this, and then they're like, "Oh, Triple H is like, I can't fight you, but someone else will," and then it's like a Randy Orton or somebody else
I was
that can,
thinking it was like
or like
Seth,
or
and
like a Stone Cold comes
yeah,
out and
right.
fights for him. You know what I mean? So, but what I think is gonna be like this, and I think it's gonna be awesome. I think that this match at WrestleMania is gonna be like they're already teasing it with Seth saying he wants to be his shield on Raw, for Cody.
I loved
I
that.
I think they're gonna like have like it's gonna be like the Avengers in their last fight, and Cody's gonna have all the people that got screwed over by Roman Reigns and the Bloodline are gonna all come out, and The Rock's gonna be there, and they're gonna have their side of people, and I think it's gonna be like a huge like Seth's gonna come out, and Sami Zayn's gonna come out, and
No,
Jay might
here's
come
what I
out.
think. I think you heard Seth say, just let me tell you this. Seth say, I feel responsible for
Yeah,
Roman's turn. What if Seth comes to the aid of Roman against The Rock and actually you get a redo, you get them together at
a
some
double
point,
turn. Yeah, yeah,
double turn,
yeah.
and you get Seth with Roman
See,
against.
people have been saying that like they think that Seth is gonna come out and like cost Cody the championship at WrestleMania, but I just think it's so. I just don't think it's smart if they did that or it's gonna happen because it just doesn't. There's no logic to it. There's no logic to Cody to
The
Seth
only
turning
logic,
Cody.
the only logic to all of this and what they're doing is, because they're stacking the deck against Cody. So our hero
Yeah.
overcomes every obstacle known to mankind, right? It's a classic story of he beats this one, he overcomes this turn. Da, da, da.
I'll be honest. It's just
But
funny
I'll tell
because
you, like, let me ask you this. Uh, what would happen if Cody does not win?
then he
And
should
the
go back
other
to
funny, and
then
the
he
other
should go back
funny,
to AEW.
the other funny thing is the funniest thing that Rock did last night is what's finishing the story? What
Well,
story?
I agree. That's the
Wanted to
only thing.
say, and I
Yeah,
wanted to say,
that's
you're right.
true.
You're right,
Yeah,
Rock.
yeah. We've talked about that.
Story-
Like, what is the
What
story?
story? What
Yeah,
is it?
yeah. Well, all I'll say is that if he loses again at Mania, he should go back to AEW because I don't know what you after that again. I don't know. There's no way he can lose at Mania. There's no way. There's no way Cody loses at Mania this year. If he does, I will genuinely sit there for 20 minutes shocked.
So now, do you believe before? So we're still got weeks before WrestleMania. Let's just remind everybody it's beginning of April,
Yeah,
and we're in middle February.
we have 1 week until elimination. Next
And
week is
we're in Elimination Chamber, but
yeah,
still, I'm talking about there's
yeah,
6 weeks or more.
a
And
build. Yeah,
the thing is, are they going to be able to keep building this to something, or are we really for sure? Do you believe getting Cody and Roman at this point?
I think no, we're getting Cody Roman. I just think there is a possibility Rock gets involved in there, and it's a triple threat. I do think that's a very high chance that it becomes a triple threat match.
And that would happen only to me if Rock and Roman have a falling out, wouldn't it?
I don't think so. I think that like
Also,
his
the two of them would want to go against each
I
other.
think his promo yesterday saying I'm gonna do everything in my power that you're a loser, talking about Cody, that could incorporate like I'm gonna get into this match and make sure you don't win.
Correct.
That me and Roman can have a good match, like a friendly match as like family members, but like I'm making sure that you don't win. I can see that happening. I really could
So
because at the
I
end
was
of the day, it's The Rock, and I just don't see a situation where The Rock is ready and willing and free to wrestle at WrestleMania, and you're not gonna have him wrestle at WrestleMania. I don't see that because at the end of the day, it's a business. And if you throw The Rock in there, they're going to sell even more tickets.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Right now, we don't have The Rock in a match.
No, that's the only way we get it.
And so
Or
wait,
the
let me
only
ask
other
you,
thing I saw was that people are saying is that it's going to be a tag team match night one of WrestleMania,
right.
which I don't have any interest in.
But I was thinking, why don't they do Seth, Cody, Rock, Roman at Elimination Chamber? But it's only a week away now.
And I heard, and not even that, I heard that Seth isn't even close to being cleared yet. So
That's
that's
right.
why. Yeah.
And I think that's the other issue. Is Seth, I know
They
they're
probably would have done it at Elimination Chamber if they really wanted to, because they could have easily. If they could have went right off that press conference, announced tag team match or Elimination Chamber, they could have done it easily, but they couldn't.
so speaking of Elimination Chamber, and now the 6 men in the Elimination
Well,
Chamber.
first of all, let me ask you: are you going to wake up at 2 a.m. to watch this?
So is it 2 a.m.?
It's 5 a.m. for me, 2 a.m. for you.
What are you gonna do?
Well, I'm gonna be up. I'll probably just watch it live. But like
I
that's the,
guess, should I? Because how am I gonna know? I mean, I don't know. What a stupid time.
it just sucks. It sucks because it's so low. It's an 18-hour flight. It is. So I
Eight
get it.
right, and you're gonna go, is what you're gonna tell
I
me,
wait.
right?
They did have.
Tomorrow,
I did
tomorrow
have.
you're gonna tell me, guess what? I decided to go.
I'll
Like,
be honest. I know. I told you if it was any other month, I would have went. But like I have been traveling all month.
yes, you
I've
have.
barely, I've barely been at school.
Yes. What about that?
They
I
understand.
was
I
gonna
told them.
I was gonna ask you of the Elimination Chamber guys. So who do you think is gonna be going up against Seth?
Well, all I'll say is that it might be the most stacked elimination chamber I've ever seen.
Ever.
There's always one person that sucks, and there's literally not. There's a. I can't believe it. It's stacked. I don't even know who's gonna win. I
Is it
mean,
Drew?
I think Drew's gonna win, but the only way Drew is well, because the only reason Drew
I
like,
wish it was Logan Paul, but
well,
they
yeah,
won't.
he just has to fight. He just has to fight at like his own championship. But I just think it's funny that like it's a Raw championship and there's 5 SmackDown guys and then Drew. So obviously you know Drew's
Why
gonna
do
win.
we have right? But again, this just shows you why this split brand thing is so stupid. And what
Yeah,
is a Braun Breaker coming to SmackDown?
I was kind of hoping Jade got announced because I mean I
Why are
wish.
they're holding her back?
Well, I don't know how do you not have her in the elimination chamber match? Like I don't get it.
Isn't there one more spot?
Yeah, but it's not gonna be her. I don't think it's gonna be her.
And then there were other things people were talking about, that Bailey's story is being shoved under the carpet. Do you
Well,
feel that?
it is a good story. I just think that it's already set in stone. So I mean, there's not much you can go off of now. There's a while till WrestleMania, so you know what I mean. So I don't really know like how they're gonna drag this till Mania. That's the only thing.
And regarding Seth, you do not want Seth to remain a babyface?
I don't know. It depends who he fights. I mean, the only thing with Seth right now in this storyline is that
He doesn't have a story. That's the problem. I feel like
well,
he's
he is incorporated. He's incorporated into the Cody story because of all the stuff going on in the press conference. But then he's so incorporated, he wants to be involved that like, how is he gonna have his own storyline with whoever wins this chamber match? You know what I mean? He's gonna have 2 storylines going on at the same time, which is weird. But I guess they could figure it out.
so going in right now, where it stands right now. The thing that was weird to me, going back to what you said, Cody saying, I'm not going to wrestle you at WrestleMania. Rock comes out, they have the face up, but we're dumb as usual, as you know, not as fans, because they just looked at each other,
Yeah.
leaving it open to interpretation. But it is kind of weird that he gets another chance at the press conference that you were at to come back out and say, I'm going to wrestle you now.
Well,
I thought
the what was gonna happen was that press conference was planned very like late, whatever.
late.
The Rock comes out on that Friday. They do the whole SmackDown thing. They announced the press conference that day. They were going to announce officially in Las Vegas with all the Super Bowl media there and every media outlet in the world there, Rock versus Roman WrestleMania 40. And then from Friday to
It all
Thursday,
flipped.
they had We Want Cody trending #1 in the world. The world. So then they had to flip it last second to that. And I can only imagine the scrambling they did. I mean, I would love to be in that room.
Plus, Punk was out.
Plus Punk got hurt.
Yeah.
So I was telling my dad, like, I would love to be like the person that saw on Twitter, like, oh crap, like it's trending #1 on Twitter. Like, I would love to know who it was like, wow, we might have to really change this. Because at the end of the day, we've had this before and they've never changed it. Like we've had stuff that we wanted as fans and they don't do it. Because at the end of the day, at the end of the day, you can do what you want.
I mean,
But
if Rock stays on camera now
yeah.
that he is board of directors of
Which is
TK,
why I think it's a big part of this is that I think that him being involved, he's a business and he goes, all right, this is gonna sell Rock, Roman, Cody. Let's just do it fully on Flip now. Because I actually I kind of like them being very non-kayfabe about him being a board member like on TV because he's like, I can do whatever the hell I want. I like that because it makes him like that's
I
how
think
it
it
should.
makes it real. Yeah, I do
Yeah.
love that, and I do think that's why I'm talking about that power control with Triple H.
Yeah, I think it's smart.
I
Because
think
Triple's
they
gonna be like,
did
yo,
it
no one,
smart.
I'm the last say. He already
Right,
said it the other day.
right,
So
right, and I can see
yeah.
Triple H being the face of this.
And
You know,
what I think is smart, what they're gonna lead to, which we think would be great, is like a authority bloodline Survivor Series match. You know what I mean? Like, and they keep this going. Like Cody, Seth, Roman. I mean, Cody, Seth, Randy, and like those guys against the bloodline. You know what I mean? With The Rock included. Because let me just tell
the
you,
only
with
other thing I could think of too is The Rock costs Roman the title at WrestleMania because he's
yeah.
had it with him. Period. So Rock then goes against Cody, and maybe Rock wrestles Cody.
Well, I think we're 100% getting Rock Cody. We're getting that at some point. We have to because of all that stuff going.
Now that there was a slap, there
Yeah.
has to be a payoff for
I
Cody.
think we're gonna get. I think that the story, the way it's gonna go is no matter how it goes down,
Cody wins,
Cody wins, and then I think we get Cody
Rock
at
wins,
SummerSlam.
and
I
Rock
think
wins, and then Roman gets the title back.
I no, I think we're getting Cody Rock at SummerSlam no matter what. I think that's the match we're gonna get. I
Yeah,
think
yeah,
Roman
yeah.
will take some time away, and then I think Roman's gonna come back and feud with The Rock, and then they're gonna lead to WrestleMania 41. That's what they're gonna do. That has to be it. It just has to be
But it won't be a title match.
for what?
Rock Roman at WrestleMania 41.
No, it doesn't need the title. That's why it never did need it. That's why it was stupid. And it's funny because I don't even know if we talked about it, but there were rumors that Rock was pushing to win when they were first doing the
I
Rock
heard that
Roman.
too. I know.
Yeah, because he thought it was better.
Now I want to pivot over to your boy Jeff Hardy because this really was amazingly horrible. I watched this over and over again. So what happened on Dynamite taping on AW Dynamite? First of all, LJ loves Jeff Hardy, correct?
And I love that he's been on TV recently. So he's been
So
on
you
TV every week.
so you're happy that you see
Yeah,
Jeff. Okay.
because he looks. I think he looks pretty good too.
Right. So here we are, and AW Rampage is taped ahead of air.
Yeah, so I saw
And
this.
Sammy, it's make all over social media. All you see is Sammy Guevara versus Jeff Hardy. There's a botch move. Guevara takes off from the top rope,
Doesn't know how to flip.
does a flip, and lands his leg lands completely his knee right on Jeff's face,
Slams on the
knocks him
floor.
out, breaks his nose.
Yeah,
Then I'm reading all the follow up about, oh, he's okay. It wasn't sure. And then Matt Hardy goes on another podcast and said, I'm surprised that my brother hasn't broken his nose already. This
yeah.
is the first time. And then a lot of people were really trashing Sammy Guevara that he has done this
It's not the
before.
first time. Yeah,
He's not
he's
protecting the
very,
rest.
very he's very reckless.
So,
It's not just him; it's the whole roster.
so talk to me about you see your boy getting smashed in the face with a knee. What did you think?
Well, it was just annoying because he just can't catch a break. Like even if it's not him doing something stupid, it's just he gets hit in the face with like by a knee.
Or he'll
It's
be
like
in a DUI and put in jail. I mean, there's
yeah,
just
it's just always something. It is always something with Jeff Hardy, whether it's good or bad or what he's doing or how it happens. It's always something that happens that goes on here with him. That's the
terrible. It was terrible. I don't know. Did he not realize?
no. It was Sammy Guevara's fault
Right. So
because
does Sammy Guevara pay for the nose job and everything? Like what happens?
yeah. How does that work?
It's kind of his fault.
No,
And
it's 100% his fault.
by
He
the way,
flipped sideways, not
flipped
forward.
sideways and landed the knee right on his face. It was so horrible. I've broken my nose 4 times.
I
Four,
can't. I can't even when I get in the nose. I can't even imagine.
four,
Yeah.
four. It was 4 times. It was so painful to watch. And I like Sammy as a wrestler. I think he's great. What the hell? Does
Yeah,
he have to go?
he's been really reckless, and people just don't like him in general because of his wife and all that stuff.
Ty Conti and the baby and the thing.
Yeah,
So what what does Jeff do now? Just come back with a face mask and a broken nose?
yeah. I mean, I guess right, one of those face masks that NBA players wear.
But you're not, weren't they giving him a push as a heel?
That's what they're. Yeah, they still are trying to, I guess, do it. I mean, I don't know. I care because I'm a fan, but I don't know how many people other care about it.
And then let's talk about real quick AEW's lack of attendance and this whole fake Tony Khan saying everything is
Really
great.
bad. Oh, so let me. Oh, real quick. I'm at NFL Radio Row all week doing,
Right.
me people doing interviews. I met a ton of people. I met Paulie D,
Patrick Mahomes.
Patrick Mahomes, Pacheco, everybody. McAfee. I met a couple NFL players. I met Stephen A. Smith, which was really
Oh,
cool.
amazing.
Yeah. I talked to a bunch of guys, and then I'm walking around, and I go to the cafeteria in the like they had a cafeteria where the media could eat separately, like from everybody else. And I'm going there. I'm getting food, whatever. I sit down, I look over, and I was like, "Man, this guy looks so familiar." And he turns around, and it's freaking Anthony Bowens. So he's just eating lunch there. He was doing interviews there, like doing interviews for. He was representing AEW, like doing interviews at some of the booths. So I walked up to him, and I didn't have it because he was
Tony
eating. So I
Khan
didn't.
was there too, though.
So I was gonna say. So this was Wednesday. So I see him, whatever. I talk to him. I say hi. Because I like they're always like my favorite. They're like really good. So I said hi to him, whatever. And then I didn't even take my phone out because I was like, he's eating. I'm not gonna ask for a picture or anything, whatever. So then the next day, I'm there and I see Orange Cassidy there. I was gonna send you a picture, but I couldn't get one because he was so like
Well, everybody knows I love Orange Cassidy.
he was
Now,
there in his jean jacket with the sunglasses on, jeans like jeans, everything. He was in his outfit, but he was there. Whatever. I didn't get to talk to him, but he was there walking around by himself, just doing interviews. And then Friday, we don't go because we had other stuff to do that day. And then I get a picture from my friend from Vegas that's there, and he did an interview with Tony Khan. And I wasn't there that day. I could have met Tony Khan and talked to him, but I wasn't there. So
and this is your friend that was there for the NFL that was
yeah,
doing.
yeah, that's there for the WWE too.
Oh, did you see the interview with Tony Khan?
Yeah, yeah, I watched it.
And what did he talk about?
So he asked him, which I liked. One of the first things he asked him was like, "Hey, so I mean, he goes like, when you see the outrage about like you being too on screen and too on hand, like, what do you think about that?" And he was like, "Why?" He's like, "I just think they should mind their own business." That's basically what he said. Like he's like, "I think they should. They don't know what really goes into it, and that I'm very hands on, and I'm very big and creative, all that stuff." And then he didn't ask him about attendance, which I really wanted him to do, but
But I want to ask you, we've had this conversation. I get that doesn't it look weird to you
well,
that
it's
there's
terrible.
nobody there and these wrestlers are supposed to be, and all you hear is how great the locker room is and everyone's so happy and the show's doing great. How can that be?
No, yeah, I heard that it's like not like that at all. Like it's really like fake, but.
And then I wanted to say one more thing on AEW to ask you. So I read on MJF's Facebook, he is back with AEW. He's there. He's going to be there.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't have assumed anything different. I mean, I just don't know when he's.
It's
I don't know
kind of
when.
a letdown. I was just hoping even at Royal Rumble we'd get MJF popping out. But there were no surprises there either.
Then we're getting Mercedes, obviously, in March. It's just, yeah, probably him, probably her and
The
Okada.
Boston Garden at the March pay-per-view is going to be the money, whatever it's called, is going to be Mercedes money. Why do you think she won't come back, but uh Naomi did?
I tell you right now, I think that Sasha Mercedes is literally like pun not intended. I think she genuinely just cares about who gives her the most money. I think that's literally what it is. That's all she cares about is how much money she's getting paid. And Tony Khan probably threw an insane amount of money. And listen, this is nothing towards Sasha Banks, but I don't think she's gonna sell tickets that's gonna sell at the arena. You know what I mean? Like,
No, but I really would love Sasha Banks to come back to the WWE
I
because
just think she
she's
fits
so
there
great.
better. I don't know what you're doing going to a place that has barely any fans. I just don't get it. And now Edge is dead again because he just got a concerto to the back of the head on
Oh,
Dynamite.
I didn't see that. What
Yeah,
happened?
they did the thing where they lay you on
Oh,
the
the
fucking
concerto, and
yeah.
is he
Christian
hurt?
did it to Edge. So now that means you have to be away for a little bit because you have to sell that. So now Edge is dead again. So
And that's been an extraordinarily disappointing. I mean,
And don't get me started. And it's not just me, it's everybody on Twitter. No, like
I know.
that United Kingdom storyline is so stupid. It is so dumb.
You're
No one,
talking about the Adam Cole group.
yeah, but it's called United Kingdom
I
because
know, I know,
yeah,
I know.
it's so bad. It is so bad. No one cares about it. Nobody. No one.
How are they going to fix this?
I
Mercedes and
The
MJF?
only thing they have going on that I think is amazing is Joe and Swerve and Hangman. Those are the
Right.
only three that are
And
actually good.
here's what's going to happen. Here's what's going to happen. Swerve is going to win
I
because
hope so. I wanted to win.
he'll
So
be the first black champion. They've got
yeah,
to give it to Swerve. That's where this is going. I don't even understand Hangman, who used to be my favorite there. He's become just a, I mean, what's the point?
yeah,
What is he? This has to go to Swerve. Samoa Joe, you need a champion that can be talked about.
yeah. I agree.
Everyone loves Swerve,
No,
even
he's
if he's
great.
bad. So I think Swerve's got to be the champ coming out of
Yeah, I
this.
would hope he wins. I hope he does. I mean, I know it would be a short reign for Joe, but I mean, it doesn't matter. You have to get it on your hottest guy.
And then what do you think about this whole thing with the Jacksons coming back as bad guys and like beating up Sting and Darby?
So do you think Sting's gonna win and then retire? Because it's for the titles.
Yeah.
You think
Or
so?
Sting loses. I
I
mean,
think he's
he's my favorite. Like you're Jeff. I'm like, if I'm then I'm like, should I go see this? And then I'm like, it's gonna stink.
where is it again?
I think we have to go to Carolina.
Oh, it's because he wants to wrestle.
I
Yeah,
Charlotte, I
yeah.
think. So we could go to Charlotte and see
And
Sting
Ric Flair. Ric Flair is gonna be there
and
too.
Ric Flair. So I'm kind of like, would you go if it was Jeff Hardy's last match?
Probably.
So
Yeah.
that's why I'm thinking if I
Yeah,
go,
I probably would.
and I know Sting, so that maybe we should go because then we can talk to Sting. At least we have Sting. So I don't know. But what
Well,
did you
he's
think about the Jacksons being jerks with their white? I love the white suits and the blood all over them.
yeah, no, they're cool. I've never been a fan of the Young Bucks. I'll be
Right?
honest.
You're just kind of like AW stinks. So
I just think right now I think it's the lowest it's ever been. I think as a fan, like as a non-hardcore like independent fan, it's hard to watch AEW. It really is.
100%. Even me who liked it before, it's very
And it's
hard.
the opposite. If you watched, I'm telling you right now, if you were to say to watch WWE right now as a non like huge fan, I think you can
Watch
watch it.
WWE. You
Yeah.
could watch it. Yeah. Even
I told you my dad's not a huge wrestling fan. He hasn't missed a show since The Rock came back because he just likes to watch it.
what's your family on this? What's your brother thinking? What's your little brother,
Well,
Mr.
so for example, so last night,
What's going on with your brother and Cody? What's his feeling on
not
the
even that. So Chris, my little brother, is a huge, enormous Cody fan, like you said, whatever. And my mom, I told you, is a humongous Rock fan. Like that's where I told you how big of a fan she is. So she loves that he's like a heel. So it's kind of funny because like now they're like beefing because Christian gets mad at my little brother because he's like slaps Cody in the face
Oh,
and all that stuff.
so mad.
Yeah. So it's cool. I mean, my mom really wants to go to WrestleMania because she wants to watch. She's never seen The Rock fight in person or be there. She's never even seen him in person. So like, she wants to go to the event, and Christian wants to see Cody wrestle. So the only good thing is that it's driving distance from us, so they might be able to go for like the one night. So I'm gonna see if they can
Why
go.
is everything that I want to go to on the complete opposite end of the earth?
Well, last year you got everything else.
We got everything, but we got nothing. Um, all right. So your prediction going into Elimination Chamber is Drew, and who's going to win the women? Bianca or Becky
I don't
or
know.
Stratton?
I think first of all, I love Tiffany Stratton. She's first of all,
Great.
she's gorgeous. She's gorgeous. First of all,
You have this blonde thing,
yeah,
right?
she's so good. Yeah, I guess
Wait a
it's
minute, but what
subconscious.
about
Right?
Liv?
Yeah, she's in it too. The whole chamber is filled. Bianca, they're
I
filled
was
with them.
talking to some people and they just think Bianca's like could take down anybody in terms of wrestling.
I
I believe
definitely
that.
think the women's chamber is the one that I don't know. I mean, like obviously they've been teasing so heavy Becky that it's to the point where I'm like, maybe they're not like it's so like all right, they're doing Becky Rhea that it's like, all right, maybe they're not because the match hasn't happened yet. Like Becky's so confident.
Is
Like,
that better? Are you more interested in that than a Bianca Rhea?
I
Yeah?
don't want to see Bianca Rhea. We've seen it already.
You don't want Becky, do you?
I wouldn't mind Becky. I think the story's there. I honestly would rather live because that's who injured her. So I think that would be smart. But I just think as a WrestleMania match, like and money and all that stuff, Becky's the bigger star. So I would get why you do Becky. I personally would like to see Bianca lose and then fight Jade at WrestleMania. That's what it should be.
But do you think, well, they've got to get Jade moving. They keep stalling her. Like,
People are
why was
saying
there
people are
last?
saying they're just gonna use her as a Raw after Mania debut, like one of those. But like she came out of the Rumble and she was so like she was hot. Like the crowd loves her. Like you have to capitalize off of that.
Going
I don't want it to die out.
as
That's the
I
only
as I was being stomped on the floor, people were going crazy about Jade.
yeah.
They really were. Um, okay. So in terms of The Rock, what do you think the next step here is? What's going to happen next? Is it going to be he's going to be on every 2 weeks on SmackDown?
We're not gonna see them at all in Elimination Chamber. They're not advertised for a woman or anybody because they're not gonna go to
The main
Australia.
event is Rhea in Australia.
I don't know. They haven't announced it. I mean, I would assume so. I mean, I guess it could be the men's chamber. Um, what's the card? Is there a match too?
Should we look it up since we're
Yeah, I think I'm excited for it. I think it's gonna be good.
yes at 2 a.m. Updated card for Elimination Chamber. We got Rhea Ripley, Nia Jax, Becky, Bianca, Liv, Tiffany Stratton, and Naomi, and one more women. Men's Drew, Randy, Bobby, LA Knight, Kevin Owens, Logan Paul, and the Judgment Day versus Pete Dunne and Taylor Bate. Oh, and the Grayson Waller effect was Seth Rollins and Cody Rhodes. So he's just doing a
Oh
show.
yeah, yeah.
Right, because Seth can't wrestle. Or do you think it breaks down between Seth and Cody there?
No, I don't think so. I think they're gonna go into WrestleMania like together, like tag team. That's what I think they're gonna do. I actually, you know what's funny? They might announce tag team there. They might announce we're gonna fight. We want to fight you guys night one at Elimination Chamber. Like they're gonna announce it for WrestleMania. That's why they're
So you have
like,
Seth, Cody in night one against Roman Rock, and then night two is Roman Cody.
that's what I think. Also, I don't care who wins at WrestleMania in the Seth Rollins match. Damian Priest has to cash in. I don't care who wins.
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you
I
so
don't,
much.
I
Thank you
don't,
so much. I
I
had
don't
that on my list to talk to you about. What the fuck? Sorry. What is going on? Has there ever been a winner of Money in the Bank taking this long to even lose it or do what is
So
this?
I'm gonna show you my tweet. Um one of the guys I watch, he does like hot takes and he does like a video about it and puts like viewers like tweets that they get like a lot of tweets, whatever. So he put tell me your let me see. They said I got all right, so they put give us your hottest wrestling takes. It says this is for video and it could be read on the show. It says leave likes for your favorite tweets in the thread. So I responded and I said I got 9 likes, which is more than like all the other ones got. It said I put the Money in the Bank in extreme capital letters is extremely past its time. It needs to be done with. This is my opinion. I said this current run with Damien is pure example. The roster is way too stacked to have somebody running around with the Money in the Bank briefcase, not knowing when to cash in. I don't think the roster needs it anymore. That's just my opinion. I don't think the Money in the Bank needs it. I don't think it needs to be a thing anymore. I don't. You have so many guys that are fighting for the championship. Now you're just stuck with Damien that has a championship. You know what I mean? It's not needed. It's not. It
Okay,
really isn't needed.
wait. So could it be possible? I know I'm being a dumb jerk, but could it be possible that he does come to Elimination Chamber and oh, but there's not a match there to cash in on?
He's not going to cash in before Mania.
So he's
If he
cashing at WrestleMania?
might cash in the Mania or the Mania the day after Mania. That's what I see.
Is that still allowed? Has it been a year?
No, it's until the next pay per view, next Money in the Bank pay per view,
Which is when?
July.
After July.
Yeah, so he'll have time.
He was so hot coming out of Backlash. I can't believe they
It was
just
so hot that we were even okay with him beating LA Knight for it because we were like, all right, it's Damien, we're okay with it. Because then they were doing the whole storyline with. I don't understand why you didn't just capitalize off the Seth and Finn Balor storyline. It was so hot. I
what are
don't
your
get it.
buddies? What are your buddies that came to Florida think of all this?
I mean, they just think that like that the cash in just needs to happen already. I just want to see him do. There's been like six missed cash ins in the past year. Like,
Six missed
I mean, the
caches.
past
It's
6 years.
so stupid.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So are you going back to school?
Well, I'm at school.
You're at school.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So, okay. So your next travel date is either WrestleMania
Probably Mania. Yeah, that's
or
what's gonna be.
we meet in Charlotte and say goodbye to Sting.
Yeah, probably WrestleMania is gonna be probably my next one is because I can just drive there. I mean the hotels look expensive. I've already been looking. They're like super expensive. It's crazy. They probably definitely upcharge it because of that.
I wonder if I
Oh, I did you notice? Did you see that? I don't know if you saw yesterday that they're uh doing WWE World. Did you see that?
hmm, I must have been
So
in my other stuff.
so they do the Superstore every single big pay-per-view and
Right.
they used to do fan access. I don't know if you remember that. Fan access used to be like a thing where like they can go there and it's all like it's a fan thing. They stopped doing fan access and just did Superstore the past like 6 years because it was, I guess, cheaper for them. And now they're bringing it back from all the week of WrestleMania. It's called WWE World, and it's in the convention center, and it's like a huge fan event, and you can buy tickets for it, and you go.
And
So
will there
that,
be the wrestlers there?
I think there's like meet and greets, and you can get like you can have like your own
And
entrance, and
that's what, a night before or something?
that's the
Okay.
week of WrestleMania. You can do it. You can go there and like buy stuff and all that.
Okay. Let's just discuss one last thing on Elimination Chamber. It's Saturday, right?
Yeah, like Friday into Saturday. So Saturday 5 a.m. for me. Saturday 2 a.m. for you. I have some friends, like my friends are just gonna watch it in the morning, but I have to watch it live.
I'd rather watch it live. So,
Yeah.
but the problem is, I don't know if I'll be able to do, we'll have to see.
Dude, we go to sleep at like 6 p.m. and wake up at like midnight. That's like 6 hours of sleeping. 8 hours of sleeping, you wake up at 2 and you're up. You have to be like an owl on Saturday.
I could do the 2 a.m., but then it's like 4 hours, 2 to 6 a.m., 3 hours.
I was gonna say maybe we could make it fun. We just hop on a live stream and do our live reactions at 5 a.m.
I may be having some trouble talking, but we could do that.
I don't know how many viewers we'll get at 5 a.m., especially my time or 2 a.m. your time, but
How could we do it live? We would have to, I'd
we would
love
just
to
be like this. We would just be like this right here, and then we would
watching
have
it. Yeah,
on our
yeah.
TV.
That's
Yeah.
not a bad idea.
That's what people do, and then the only good thing is that they clip like big things, and then they put it on their
They put
YouTube.
the clips up.
Yeah, if anything crazy happens or
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
One of the last things I want to say is, the good thing about WWE is they're not packing a million matches into their pay premium live events, which is
they
great.
used to, not anymore, and they're way
Right?
better now than they used to be.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Have a good weekend. Thank you, everybody, for joining us. Our 25th show. Make sure to watch them all down below. Subscribe to the Michael Fairman channel, and we can find you on your TikTok.
Yes, Ring Reporter Media.
Ring Reporter Media, there's lots of amazing clips on there, especially who you want to learn what they eat,
Yeah, or what they do, what they work out,
what
what
they
they
do
do.
with their workout. All
Yeah.
right. Thanks, everybody.